Yeah, here we are for the off season, and as we begin, we see our score. Even though we took over for about 10 days to take a peep at the playoffs, but we got to do better. Even though I wasn't in charge. I don't know why I'm on the Yankees. Well, let's take a look at what happened in this playoff. So in the playoffs, it was actually a really good one. Just like in real life, what happened last night in that incredible Game 5. The Mariners took down the Tigers, and then the Mariners went up 3-0 on the Blue Jays and ended up losing 4 straight games. Brewers took down the Cubs, and then the Dodgers took care of them pretty quickly. And then the Blue Jays actually went up in this series 3-1, and then choked it to the Dodgers. Shohei won World Series MVP. So let's see this new budget: 230, team payroll around 80. So that actually doesn't. I don't think that really. Yeah, our budget's going up. Interesting. Well, I mean, we'll take it. Justin Topa, $2 million, bringing him back pretty easily. Like, I've signed like 3 coaches, and they keep retiring after I've signed them. I don't really get it. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I guess end of the season prospects. Walker Jensen's still at the top of the list. We have him more scouted. That power number dipped once we scouted him a little more. OSA likes him a lot more than our head scout does. We'll see. We will see. Definitely gonna still start the year at AAA. I'm still looking to get him into the lab here. I think that's something we're definitely gonna do. Let's look at this arbitration. So Bailey Ober, one of them, 4.6 mil is what he wants. I'll tell you right now, that's not something we're interested in doing or going to be doing. He won't be back. 6.3 mil is pretty cheap for kind of what I thought for Joe Ryan. But again, won't be coming back. I'm just going to immediately withdraw from Genesis Cabrera because he won't be back. Yeah, we're not doing that one either. Cole Sands is a guy, he can eat innings in the bullpen, 30 stamina. He can pitch more than 1 inning at a time if he needs to. And he's cheap, so building a bullpen when you're bad, it's just fine to keep the cheap relievers around. Ryan Jeffers, obviously, like I mentioned before, we're gonna go ahead and offer him that arbitration. I wonder if I can get him for cheaper if we just try to agree on a deal here. If it's just exactly 8, we should be able to do that, avoid arbitration. So I feel like he'll end up making more than 8 if we go to the arbitrator. Take a look at Royce Lewis now. His ratings also go down now that we have the very high scout on him. That is just not what you like to see. A year ago he thought this guy was going to be the future of the franchise, and now, he might not be that. But another guy that I think we're going to see if we can just knock this out. That is not what I meant to click. Give him 100,000 pay raise. Should be able to get that done. Avoid the arbitrator. And then Larnach, replacement level guy. Wants 4.6 million. What if we do 4.3? All right. Should be able to get him back for cheaper. Don't love that. Well, what are you going to do? Look at the player development. The development lab typically comes with 8 slots. I typically bump that up, and I did that here as well. So there's 10 slots for us to toy around with here. I think one that we're definitely going to throw in here is Luke Keeschel. Question is, he's a low development risk. What do we target? Do we see if we can tap into this power that's not completely there? Whatever we target, it is going to be one of the harder ones because the eyes, 2-strike approach, power, contact are all the things that still have some wiggle room in there. We could look to improve the defense, but a guy that has this talent, I kind of want to see if we can just super max this bat of his. So I think we're gonna do the bat speed, see what we can possibly get out of Luke Keeschel. And then I think Zebby Matthews is a guy I want to bring in here. Typically, to get this home runs allowed number to fulfill its potential, you need to increase the movement. with his control already good, and I think it's just going to get better. I think I'm going to target that because he's a guy we want in our rotation for a while. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that movement going. Let's see what else we have here. I think I'm going to do the exact same with Taj Bradley, especially with that fly ball pitcher. We need that home runs allowed to be better. So let's get that done. Who else? Mick Abel's an interesting one. I mean, since he's neutral, but you just can't play with 45 home runs allowed, but you can play with 40 control, especially with what his pitches are. They're not as developed. I'm gonna look at his control for right now, and just hope that that home runs allowed gets better on its own without us having to do anything in the lab for it. So Austin Martin actually has gotten better as well, I think. So his avoid K has gone even further up now that we got the full scouting done with Austin Martin. I don't even know what we'd put him in the lab for. I don't think we're going to throw him in the lab. Do we send a shot in the dark with Matt Wallner? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to do that. Brooks Lee is one we're going to do. I've had some luck with this in the past. We're going to try the quality of contact, see if he can become like a true leadoff guy for us. Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. There's a world where I go after this, but Buxton being 31, I know he's high work ethic. It's worked for me in the past with you do the strength and conditioning, and then he gets back to normal, and then you're like, oh my God, we have healthy Byron Buxton. I'm gonna think about it. He's 31. Like I just don't think that it's gonna work. If there's an open slot, we're really vying for a guy to throw in there. I think then I'll come back to it as like a kind of a last option almost. Walker Jenkins is gonna get thrown in here. He's a medium risk, so I'm wondering. He's 20. So this year we could just be like, hey, gap power. Like it's not gonna. Like it shouldn't be detrimental to him if it goes awry, Do we just do that this year and then next year when he's 21 and he's got, maybe some major league time under his belt, then do we see if we can tap into that power? Because, it's not like him developing his power is going to make him, is going to make us, crazy good or anything. And I don't want to risk it, so I do think I'm going to do that. Just try to improve his gap power, see if we can just improve there. E-Rod, we definitely are throwing in the lab, and we're going to try to target this avoid K because it is abysmal. Excuse me. No, I don't remember. Excuse me. I believe it's two-strike approach. Yeah. So E-Rod's in the lab for that. See if that'll, take effect if we can get a guy out of him. Another guy who I don't think I went over in the first introduction video is Connor Prelip. He was a former draft pick out of Alabama, hard throwing lefty. I think he was second round draft pick. He was projected first, and he tore his UCL, I believe. They don't have it on here, but he's a guy who's very interesting. He's been decent in the Twins farm. He did really good at Double-A. Strikes out a crap ton of guys. I see him long-term as more of a guy who's in the bullpen because he has 3, really solid pitches. Fly ball pitcher, I think I'm going to throw him in here because I think he can be useful to this team as long as he gets that home run per 9 up because he's got some, elite pitches. What else? I'm kind of interested to see. I don't really throw guys in the lab when they're still 30 overall. I feel like, maybe I'm the weird one doing that. I feel like you have better odds when you don't do that. Merrick Houston was a Twins first round pick this year. I forgot about that. In my Pirates save, he became a really, really good player for us. And this is the elite defense. He's unhappy. Why are you unhappy? Because high A sucks? The Cedar Rapids Colonels aren't getting it done? Anyway, hell, we could throw him in the lab. He's 21. Could he start the year at Double-A next year? I don't think so. Just Riley Quick, someone we could throw on the line. Medium risk, he's 21. Yeah, why don't we do it? Why don't we throw Riley Quick in there, the first round pick this year? I am going to improve that control. 30 is bad. Yeah, let's try to do that. One more spot. Let's take a look at the Major League roster again. Who could we throw in here? What makes sense? Could Funderburg come in? No, I think he's fine. Cody Clemens, he's 29. I don't think Cody Clemens is really going to get exponential. Oh, Royce Lewis. Duh. Almost forgot about Royce. What should we do for Royce? Because I know, even though it says that potential might be all the way through with his power, I do think we're going to do quality of contact. I know it's not the quote-unquote like sexy choice to do it, because like if you can tap into that power that he once had or once showcased, you know, why not try it? But we see there's potential here. High work ethic guy. I think we're going to do that. I already brought him over. Okay. So that's who's going to the lab. Keishel, Matthews, Bradley, Abel, Lee, Jenkins, Rodriguez, Prelip, Quick, and Lewis. So we won't throw Buxton in here. And that's okay. We already got him on this rested when benched, and that's usually does pretty good for me. Let's just hope it does. I mean, we really want Byron Buxton to do what he did this year again for us when it's, you know, our turn to do stuff. And then, yeah, we got arbitration. I'm going to go ahead and take a look here at any trades that we can find. I don't know how much Bailey Ober is going to garner us. Why don't we take a look at, you know, going out and throwing Joe Ryan out here and seeing what sticks. Hadley Rushman is available. That's interesting. I don't think that's something we're going to do with Ryan Jeffers and a guy we're going to pay $8 million to this year. Now, this is interesting. The issue I have with Rafaela, and I did a Red Sox save as well, is this eye is absolutely brutal. It's going to knock him down. He's not going to be what he could be. Like, you see this and you're like, oh my God, Rafael is going to be a dog, but the eye is really bad. And he's extended for 8 seasons. But the Red Sox do seem interested, so in real life that was a team that was interested at the deadline. So we might go back there, and I might try to work out a deal kind of on my own. Curtis Mead, he's a White Sox. I don't even remember that. For Adrian Hauser, Curtis Mead's a White Sox. I did not know that. The Reds are interested. Noelvi Marte, former guy with the Mariners, right? Yep. For Luis Castillo trade was the heart of that. That's definitely interesting. I just worry that, like, at 24, but he had a good year this year. 14 homers in 90 games. He's fast. He can play the middle infield. I don't know why. He's got outfield ratings. Can he play the infield? Yeah, he can. He can play pretty much everywhere. Elvie Marte is interesting to me. No, I think it should go without saying that I'm not going to just trade for Noelvi Marte. Like, I would look to be throwing in another guy here. I don't think it would be Brady Singer, especially with, you know, he wants 10 mil. Bring him back to the AL Central. We're not going to do that. It's interesting if we go in division here. Gavin Williams. Again, I don't really want, like, old dudes. Like, I mean, 26 isn't old, but Brendan Doyle, elite range, terrible bat. Interesting. Logan O'Hoppe. Wow, Logan O'Hoppe's not good. Was he bad in real life this year? He was. I didn't even realize that. I feel like Logan O'Hoppe is always almost a guy you see like 5 years in, and he's one of the better catchers in the league. But this is like AAA backup catcher kind of ratings. I don't think this potential is ever going to be reached, especially him pushing 26 now. That's disappointing. surprised the Dodgers aren't throwing a whole lot at us. The Yankees are interested, but it's, kind of the bottom feeders for this team. Jose Caballero is not a guy who you are wanting in a get back in a Joe Ryan trade. So I don't think we'll be interested in that. The Mariners have some guys that they're willing to send off. I mean, these are just relievers. Like Matt Brash is not someone that we're looking to acquire from a Joe Ryan deal. Yeah, we're just, I don't know. I might have to do some perusing on my own here to see if we can work out a deal. If a deal's made, today, like early in this offseason, we might have to wait a little while till teams know their budget with arbitration. Once free agents file, it'll be easier for us to find a deal for them, I think. Yeah, we're not really getting anything in terms of prospects. Dante Nori, elite outfielder. Now I gotta warn you guys with how I play in my saves. I will fall for the trap of this elite outfield range and elite speed. I'm gonna collect just elite defensive outfielders who can hit. So Dante Nori looks very, very fascinating to me. But I don't think that's something we're doing. I'm not going to go trade for a first baseman either. Who's this? Mac Horvath. In the Red Sox save I did, Mac Horvath won an MVP. He's got the trades for it. He's just 24. We'd bring him back home to Minnesota. That's very interesting to me, actually. He's only ever played at high A, though. He's 24. I mean, it would have to be Mac Horvath plus. And that's interesting. We'd be sending him back to Tampa Bay. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reapproach this here. See what we can get done. I do like Horvath, though. But Ryan Jeffers is back. Re-signed 1 year, $8 million. Trevor Larnach and Royce Lewis are both back as well. We got them a bit cheaper than their ARB estimate. Tristan Casas just got traded for Edward Cabrera. Look at the Marlins making some moves. Wow, Tristan Casas really snapped his leg this year. What did he do? Yeah, there you go. I was watching that game live when that happened, but there you go. Tristan Casas to Miami. That's an interesting one. Why don't we take a look at the Gold Glovers here? Jose Barrios, Cal Raleigh, Christian Walker, a few more AL guys. Alex Bregman gets he should be a free agent. Robbie Ray getting a Gold Glove. Why not? Pat Bailey, Luis Arraez got a Gold Glove. He is sure. Luis Arraez, Gold Glover. He was a guy who was like a finalist in 2022 or last year. He was with the Twins. I don't remember when that was. Is that 2022? Yeah, 2022. He was a finalist when he won that batting title, and yeah, not really known as a great defender, but not bad at first, I guess. That's your Gold Glove winners. Let's take a look at these silver. Oh, no. Forgot the order. Aroldis Chapman obviously going to win Delivery Man of the Year. He is absolutely ridiculous. It sucks that the Red Sox lost to the Yankees, so we don't get to see more of 37-year-old Chapman just still dominating. It's ridiculous the longevity this guy's had. Should have swept it, but Whitlock got a vote. Man, Garrett Whitlock's a dog. In the NO, Jason Adams going to get it. I actually don't know who's going to win these in real life. I assume Chapman, but I'm not an NL guy, so I don't really know. Brad Keller had a year, huh? We'll see the Cubs in real life when I'm recording this. They play the Brewers in Game 5 today. Definitely be tuning into that. And there we go. We have our first achievement. Byron Buxton's going to go get himself a Silver Slugger. A few more trades have been done. Take a look here. Nick Kurtz, obviously. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. When you do a start now, you get to see some ratings that you just don't see when you're starting at the regular season. Nick Kurtz is kind of like a lowly AAA guy when you start, and Here's Nick Kurtz when he's starting now. This is unbelievable. What a get for the A's. Got to be rooting for that team. But yeah, there you go. Byron Buxton. Bellinger's getting one. He's looking to be a free agent in real life. That'll be interesting what his market looks like at 30. Feels like he's ancient. Not ancient, just feels like he's been playing for a long time. Hunter Goodman, Pete Alonso, another guy who's going to be a free agent in real life. What is he going to garner? I don't know. Interesting. Geraldo Perdomo, just a random 7-WAR season. Because why not? Schwarber's a free agent in real life. I wonder if he's a free agent here. That'll be interesting. Guy who just hit 56 homers, had a 7-WAR season as a DH. Yeah, very interesting. See who won Rookie of the Year. I can kind of tell you who won it in the AL. John Schreiber trade. Yeah, 30-0. No surprise at all there. And on Rookie of the Year, Drake Baldwin. I wonder if that's who's taking it in real life. I forget Drake Baldwin's a rookie. Like, I know he's, like, young. He just looks like a professional when he plays. He doesn't look like a guy who's a rookie from Madison, Wisconsin. Went to Missouri State. There you go. Two votes for Cade Horton. He had a good year. His per nines are really nice. 2.4 WAR. Shout out Cade Horton. Let's take a look at Manager of the Year. Probably the one that matters the least. Or we won't take a look at that. They literally didn't even show him. What the hell? I miss him. All right. Tarek Skubal wins it. That's interesting to me. I think in real life, I mean, Skubal's so good. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous that he's been doing this for 3 years. He just strikes out a crap ton guys. Just doesn't walk anybody, and that changeup is so disgusting. Saw what he did last night against the Mariners in Game 5. You got to feel for the guy because he's just so elite. They got him extended long term. In real life, I think it's Crochet's award, but I mean, I don't even know. They're both so good. And this Skubal takes it. Christopher Sanchez. We have a tie, actually. It's gifted to him, but they tied. How the hell do you give this to Christopher Sanchez? No offense, Chris Sanchez. Did he really have a 7-WAR season? That can't be right. I can't believe you give this to Christopher Sanchez. Paul Skeens at a sub-2 ERA. What are we missing here, OOTP? Are we not seeing what he did this year? This guy's insane. I mean, obviously in real life, Paul Skeens is taken. Oh, it is a co-Cy Young. Okay. Wow, honestly, that's the first time I've seen that in this game where there's a co-Cy Young and it's, a year that we didn't even play. Okay, then. Christopher Sanchez and Paul Skeens split the Cy Young award. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in real life, but there you go. MVP should be pretty clear cut. Yeah, Aaron Judge. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I've been rooting for Colorado to get it, but, you just can't argue what Aaron Judge is doing. It's unbelievable. George Springer, what a year he's having. Again, you click start now. I know I sound like a broken record, but George Springer is like a 50 overall guy, and you're trying to get out of this 24 mil for 2 years, and then in this, he's durable. He hits everywhere, and he's all of a sudden George Springer's a stud when you open a save with the Blue Jays. It's very fun. Shohei, obviously, I mean, he's going to just keep winning them until he's done. Greatest player of our generation. Greatest player ever. Arbitration. Joe Ryan's getting 6.9 mil. Ober 4.6. Cole Sands 1.9. Dylan Cease re-ups. Trent Grisham re-ups. What's Trent Grisham look at? 143 mil for Trent Grisham. Wow. I mean, Trent Grisham had a good year, don't get me wrong, but when you're the Yankees and you have infinite money, might as well. Might as well. All right, we got arbitration hearings. Let's go ahead and get to tomorrow, free agent filings, and then we'll kind of see what this roster is going to look like. Speaking of, why don't we look at some of these international guys? These are, if you guys don't know, these aren't real people. These are the game-generated International free agents. I mean, this guy's actually pretty interesting. High leader. I might go after that guy. We'll see. Need a backup catcher. So typically in the first year of these, you see some like 80 guys come in, and we're not seeing that. Alex Bregman filed for free agency. Any interesting trades? AJ Minter into Toronto. Nothing too unbelievable. Keegan and Kin. Miami's building the bullpen. Okay, maybe not, but Miami's building something. I always love to see what the Marlins get into in these saves. So, running into a bit of an issue here. If we try to do this Reds trade, they are over budget if we throw in both Wallner and Ryan. This is kind of the get back I was thinking of. Arroyo and Marte was a guy they offered earlier. And then Chase Burns is a guy who I would absolutely fall head over heels for. I think this is too much. I don't think they'd do this even if we had the money, but I don't know how badly we're going to want to retain on these guys. But I'll let you guys know. Okay, we have finally found ourselves a deal. I think this is something we're gonna go ahead and go through with. The Phillies finally, the team, is kind of searching for these on our own since the shop player wasn't getting us much. But Joe Ryan, we are gonna retain some of this first year ARB money. Nothing too ridiculous, just $4 million. I think, $4.5 million. Oops. Matt Wallner will be gone too. So this era of Joe Ryan and Matt Wallner will be no longer on this team. Joe Ryan, a guy we got in that Nelson Cruz trade with the Rays years ago. I don't know why these are batting stats. Probably because I clicked on batting. Career 10 more pitcher for the Twins. So fun to watch, man. Such elite pitches. He's going to a super contender. Another deal that the Twins are going to make with the Phillies here. They're kind of the only guys who will do game with us. Matt Wallner, this is too confusing for my brain to slot into a lineup day in and day out. I'll be completely honest. I just don't want to go through this. I don't want to start the season and give it a shot. And then, hey, he's hitting 190 and he just isn't like getting on base, or like if this is 190 and this is 299 or 300, then this plummets and he's not playing the outfield. I just can't do it. I just can't. We're gonna let Matt Wallner go. Both these guys are going to the Phillies, and we're getting back kind of the big powerhouse, number 7 prospect in baseball. Andrew Painter's coming in. He admittedly didn't have the best year at AAA, but he went from A-ball to AAA. So I don't know if he's a guy who starts the year at the big league club, but Andrew Painter, that's a big get for us. We also, Dante Nori was a guy that they were offering before for just one of the guys, so we're going to bring him in, another 21-year-old prospect, high speed, elite range, high work ethic guy. This develops not even a little bit because it needs to develop a good amount. But if he reaches his potential in this is like a 10-year ball player in the major leagues. So I like this get in Nori. We're also bringing in Rincon, another guy who's high defense, very good personality traits, like a super elite defense. His bat's a bit more developed than Nori. All in all, he's closer to the big league club than Nori is. Didn't do great at high A this year, admittedly, but we'll see what our development can bring for Rincon. We're also bringing in another guy with Rincones. Kind of fell in love with that last name, I guess. Just kind of a organizational depth kind of guy. He could come up in the season for an injury and be a bat. He plays good outfield as well, which I honestly didn't even see when I first threw him in. And he had a great year at AAA. So honestly, a really good get is Rincones for me. Good speed. I'm going to move him to the outfield once he inevitably joins our team once we complete this. And then just another piece to throw in. I saw 80 speed, 70 range, and like I just told you guys, this is something that I fall in love with. So John Spikerman's going to be joining the ball club. So there you go. There's the Joe Ryan trade. Andrew Painter, Dante Nori, Brian Rincon, Gabriel Rincones, and John Spikerman for Joe Ryan and Matt Wallner. Let's get it done. I'm also gonna just jump in here real quick. As I was making my short list, there's something that caught my eye, and I know it's a real person in real life for the Twins. But Peyton Eales, I mean, he is 26. He's not a guy who's been up for the Major League Ball Club yet. You might most famously know him from a Foolish Baseball video. Peyton Eales is 5'5". That's kind of what's notable about him. But this is a legit bat. This is a guy who could be, more depth in the middle infield, and he plays everywhere for us. As of right now, I think I'm going to go ahead and call him up to the big league club. I think he is going to be. I got to try this out. We have to see what this looks like, at least in the spring training, and see if he can find a job for us. I got a peep game on that. So I just wanted to hop in and say that quick. All right, I believe we have ourselves the Bailey Ober trade. Bailey Ober will be no more. He's going to be, extreme fly ball, 35 home runs allowed. He's not going to be good, pretty straight up. We are going to ship away Eddie Julian as well. I really couldn't find a deal that was really worth our time at all without getting rid of two players. Getting rid of just Bailey Ober was netting us pretty much nothing. So Eddie Julian got thrown in here, and then when I threw in Maia, who's the main get here, they wanted Cantorino, and I don't think Cantorino, 27, fragile, not going to be a starter now with 45 home run allowed, 3-pitch pitcher. I know I just kind of mentioned him as a guy, but he's never going to really do much. He had a great year at AA. Good for him. See if he can make something work with the Yanks. We're going to bring back Brandon Maia. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I wonder if you guys are noticing a trend here. Lead outfield range, really good speed. If this bat develops, he's going to be really good. Only 20, so we didn't really want to go. I feel like this trade makes sense. We're getting a really young guy. He's done really good at rookie ball. I think he'll come over and give himself a chance to play an A-ball once he gets here. And I think that will be the plan. So we'll get him. We'll bring in Kyle Carr as well. This is the guy they were offering. He'll start the year probably AAA. He's a starter in theirs. I don't know. No, he'll be a reliever with us. Start the year AA or AAA. More organizational depth. He was elite at high A for 2 years. So he's a guy we're going to bring in. They were offering him. And then Valorio's a super young guy, 19. Just kind of guy you throw at the wall, see what sticks, see if he'll ever be anything. Kind of decent here, decent speed. I mean, he's 19, freshly 19, so I don't expect him to be much. But I know it's not the most flashy trade, and it kind of looks like off rip we're losing it. But guys we don't really want. We don't have to retain any money here either. Eddie Julian's a guy who, again, I wish it would work, but I just don't see him having a home on our team. And it might be the biased Twins fan in me, but I just want it to be done. So let's get Eddie Julian out of here. Cantorino, I believe a former second-round pick. He's gone too. So there's the Bailey Ober trade. Just another check-in with the Marlins. They go get Lucas Erceg, a really, really solid reliever. He's kind of notable and out of the park for having this terrible personality class. I don't know if I know enough about Lucas Erceg to tell you if that's true in real life, but out of the park, he's kind of the merchant of venom. So the Marlins are making moves. They trade away Max Acosta, who pretty decent to be honest, but always fun to see what they're getting into. So just a little something. Received another trade offer here. Let's take a look at this one. It does look very interesting. Kevin Ginkel would come in, would immediately serve himself in our bullpen. Struggled with the walks this year in the BABIP. Was pretty rough, but 2 elite pitches. He would come in, as well as Slade Caldwell, who is a very intriguing prospect. This is interesting. I'm a big Slade Caldwell guy. If you heard me talk about my Pirates save, Slade Caldwell was a guy who we went and got and was a dog in that save, and we'd only be giving up Mickey Gasper, who's not that great. And then CJ Culpepper, a guy who could develop, but that home runs is kind of stuck at 45. And OSA likes him even less, which kind of makes me excited. I know CJ Culpepper was a guy who was really good at AA. A guy I mentioned who could be up at the big league club, but like Jeremy Zoll was saying, I think this is actually a really good trade for us. Not often do you see the CPU-controlled teams bring you something that's interesting. Am I missing something here, or am I getting got somehow? I feel like this is really good. I don't see a world where I don't do this. I'm gonna pull the trigger. CJ Culpepper is gonna be sent to Arizona. They see something in him. Their scout likes him more than we do. So we're gonna let this happen. We're gonna bring Kevin Ginkel, a guy who's also just gonna be a part of our our bullpen, as well as get a 19-year-old stud of a prospect. So yeah, thank you, the Diamondbacks. Thank you, guys. So it looks like the the Orioles found their Felix Bautista trade. They offered him to us for, I think, Joe Ryan or Matt Wallner, I think it actually was. They're sending him to Tampa Bay, so Tampa Bay is going to go get very high-level reliever. That's interesting to me. They're going to let go of Josh Lowe. One of the Lows are gone. He's heading to Baltimore in that interdivision trade. So that's something. I know not a lot of people probably don't do these little check-ins around the league on these trades. I know it adds a lot of time to these videos, but I think it's a lot of fun when you have world building and you kind of understand, like, when I get to the playoffs, I can, well, if we ever get to the playoffs, I should say, we are the Minnesota Twins. You kind of get a better understanding of who you're going against, and you kind of get, like, I don't know, just more knowledge of the world. It makes it more, it makes me want to dive in a bit more. And I think it just makes the save in general more interesting when you see teams win and lose, and when big trades happen and stuff like that. So it's probably something that I'll look at. I'll hop in every once in a while when we see a fun trade, or some teams buying or some teams selling pretty aggressively if there's a big lopsided trade. Just something I like to do. Speaking of big deals, Josh Naylor just got a pretty sizable extension. Josh Naylor had a good year. I knew Josh Naylor was doing good this year, but my God, did he have a great year. Look at Josh Naylor, he's going to turn himself into having like a really solid career. I have zero recollection of him ever being a Padre, but Josh Naylor getting paid a lot of money now. Yeah. There you go. Shout out Josh Naylor. There you go. Kyle Schwarber has a deal, and he's heading back to Boston. How about it? $37 million a year for 4 years. Honestly, not that bad. I think in real life he's gonna get paid. So, pretty good deal. I think he's heading back to Boston. Played 41 games there. Helped him in those playoffs, and 4 years in Philly are over, where he hit 187 homers. See if he can bring that to Boston. Now, there you go. We have another kind of funny trade here. Nathan Eovaldi, who's wow. He was incredible through 22 starts in real life this season, and I haven't even looked at him in his ratings yet, but he's a 70-70 guy, and we have a high scouting accuracy on him. Nate Eovaldi is heading to the Yankees, of all teams, of course. He was obviously there before, and then kind of tormented them with Boston, and now he's back. That's insane. They trade away I think it's the number 1 or number 2 prospect, but number 27 prospect in baseball, and George Lombard, who OSA is extremely high on. Our scout isn't, but we only have average scouting on him. And Austin Wells is also heading back to the Rangers, so that's a fun one. That's cool. Here we go. Sean Armstrong is a Minnesota Twin. That's crazy. Honestly, this is a really good get for us for just $3 million. A guy who 74 innings of very, very good baseball. Just a year ago, and now he's joining us. There's a lot of stuff here, but I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. because we have draft lottery. So let's get a live reaction here. What do we get? We get pick number 6. That blows a little bit. So we go from 4 to 6. A's jump from 8 to 1. Marlins from 12 to 2. All right, pick number 6. So we'll see what should still hopefully be able to get a guy who's blue chip. I think Walker Jenkins was the 5th pick in the draft. Took him right before right after Wyatt Langford. So ideally we can get a guy just like that again. So there we go. And again, I don't know why I could just keep doing Marlin check-ins, but the Marlins are always so interesting to me. They always, I don't know, I love the Marlins. If I do another save on Out of the Park, I think it'll be with Miami, and I'd love to showcase that here. But they just went out and got Joe Jimenez, so they're just building. Look at the Marlins go, man. How do you not love that team? Devin Williams is signed with the Dodgers, so he's going from big market to big market. Not good. I mean, good per nines, but not. Yankees fans didn't, I don't think, really like Devin Williams this year, so we'll see what Dodgers fans say. I'm curious how much money Ramon Laureano got, because in real life he went absolutely berserk this season. What did he do? My God, 6 for 148 for Ramon Laureano. Baseball, man. Crazy. So Cody Bellinger signed with the Cincinnati Reds, so he gets a really good hitter's ballpark. He's heading back to the NL Central, and a pretty decent deal. So I feel like in a lot of these saves, the Reds really become a force in the National League. So them going and getting Cody Bellinger in year 1 is very interesting. They almost always kind of do something because they have. I mean, this lineup's already decent with Ellie De La Cruz, and he almost always turns into an MVP winner. But now that I'm looking at this from, this is just our scout's eyes with average scouting. But now that I'm looking at this, he might not do that because we are obviously in a start now, and we're not coming off the season he had a year ago. But they have him, they have Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, but that's not the story. It's Cam Collier always seems to develop. Chase Burns, who I obviously wanted to go and get, he always seems to develop. So the Reds are always a threat. Rhett Lauder too. So cool to see that they went and got a guy for him. Go get Cody Bellinger. I don't know why this says 0, but yeah, that's all I wanted to add. Whoa, that's a massive trade that I just stumbled upon. I was about to start yapping again because the Rule 5 draft, but Chris Sale just got dealt to the San Diego Padres. So 36-year-old Chris Sale coming off of yet another great year. In real life, the reigning Cy Young winner. Heading to the Padres, and Ethan Salas, the super prospect at catcher, number 2 prospect in baseball behind our guy Walker Jenkins, and he's heading to Atlanta. So Atlanta already has Drake Baldwin, the reigning Rookie of the Year winner at catcher, and now they had Ethan Salas. So that's as big gets right there in terms of trade. They also brought in Eric Yost, but wow, that is not what I expected to see when I went to go do the Rule 5 draft. All right, wow. In terms of the Rule 5 draft, well, let's just see what's there when we pick. Michael Grove goes at 1. He's out with a shoulder surgery. I don't know. Jordan Balazovic is a former Minnesota Twin. First-round draft pick, I believe. Brendan Rodgers at 4. Brendan Rodgers. What happened to Brendan Rodgers, man? He was supposed to be something. Anyway, with our pick, man, it's like Ben Kasparis is very interesting. I'll be completely honest. I'm probably butchering his name. 46 games in the bigs, good per nines, 1 WAR, extreme fly ball. That's kind of scary. Sawyer Gibson Long is here. If that home runs was at 50, I might have dabbled. Wesneski's here. No, I'm not going to do that. Alex Lang is here. 35 control. If this was 40, I probably would just make the pick. But we need a corner outfield spot guy. Johnny DeLuca, in my Red Sox save that I did, hit like a crazy walk-off homer to bring us to the World Series. So I just have my heart is full for Johnny DeLuca baseball, and I'm gonna be completely honest. I see a lot of teal, and again, you guys know that I love this. The bat's good too. He can compete for the right field spot, and if not, he goes back to Tampa. So I might do that. Another interesting one is R.J. Pettit, though, and R.J. Pettit might be something. But Johnny DeLuca baseball, man, I don't know. R.J. Pettit's really good too. Man, oh man, oh man. I can't let my heart. I don't know if I can let my heart guide me here. Trevor Steffen's good too. I'm doing R.J. Pettit. I'm drafting him. If let's go to us again. DeLuca's still there. Fuck it. Screw it. I'm doing DeLuca. Bring him home. All right. Some Rule 5 exciting stuff. Let's get out of here. And we didn't lose anyone, otherwise it would have yelled at me. I think we protected everyone. We had some 40-man spots open. So Eloy Jimenez is now a guy who's getting taken in the Rule 5. Another guy like what could have been. What is this? Is this Rookie of the Year? Oh, he won a silver center field. Did he really win it in center field? Oh my God, were they trying out Eloy in center? That is just a recipe for disaster. But anyway, RJ Pettit. Yeah, I like that. I'm pretty happy with the Rule 5 draft and how that just went. These guys should just be here now. So we are up to 3, 6, 7, 8. So we do kind of have our full bullpen. We only have one lefty though. So hopefully our guy Hobie Milner will sign with us. I think all these guys are favoring our offer. Some of the backup catcher Brazier. Did we back off on this now? Now that we kind of have a bullpen set up, or do we go back to that Justin Topa trade and maybe go get a guy? I don't know. I'll look around and let you guys know. All right. As I'm scrolling here to just see what Justin Topa could get, I see Orion Kirkering, who I think in real life Phillies fans would be jumping at the gun to get rid of him right now with how that game ended with the Dodgers. They're in Game 4. This is interesting to me. I think this is just like an immediate upgrade. I'm even just like ignoring the control potential because a lot of times when these guys get to a certain age, they might not develop. But cheaper, younger, better. Like how do I say no to this? There really was like no offers here either for him. So I think the Phillies they just love trading with us. They love giving us pitchers, and I think we're just gonna I'm just gonna immediately do this. We just get an immediate upgrade in the bullpen. Man, it feels weird seeing Joe Ryan here. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do this. Orion Kirkering's coming in for Justin Topa, so there we go. And again, there's a big trade in this offseason. O'Neal Cruz is heading to the White Sox. You know, I say big trade because of the name, just the star power with that name for O'Neal Cruz, but the game doesn't really love him. His contact and avoid Ks is down. At least that's for our scout. OSA actually agrees. He did not have a great year. 38 bags and 20 homers is pretty good, but these are bad. But O'Neal Cruz is a White Sox. That's where careers go to die. Yeah, we get an update here with Ryan Brazier. St. Louis is offering him a deal right now, and with our bullpen being pretty full, I don't think we're gonna go down to the wire with a 38-year-old fly ball pitcher reliever. So Brazier won't be coming in. We're gonna stick with what we got, and hopefully Milner will come in and do that. And luckily, I'm still on the mic here because Jack Sawinski to the Mets is very interesting. Not good with Pittsburgh at all this year, but Jack Sawinski's, back-to-back really bad years. But Ronald Acuna's brother traded back to Pittsburgh and Luis Angel. So that's just an interesting deal. Not something I would probably turn on the mic to tell you about, but interesting enough for me. So, and look at that. Speak of the devil, Hobie Milner's here. So we're pretty much done. We're waiting on... Oh, yeah, there we go. Sataki also signed. So we are pretty much done with the offseason. Almora is going to be at AAA. There we go. So we got those done. Sweet. Okay, we kind of got everyone we wanted. So I think we're going to be pretty much done building this roster up here on the free agency portion of things. And then we'll kind of take a look at if there's any more trades, I'll hop in, and big free agent signings, I'll hop in. But the next time that I'll be seriously yapping is when we get to that player development and what the lineup's going to be looking like going into the spring, and then preseason predictions and getting going into the full year one with the Minnesota Twins. See what this roster is gonna come to and what everything's gonna look like. So I'm excited. I mean, probably the biggest, at least highest overall free agent we had was Edwin Diaz this season, and he's going back to Baltimore. So he wanted some crazy money and ended up not getting what he was looking for, but this is still a lot of money for a reliever. And, how soon they forget how good Edwin Diaz was look at this K per 9. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolute killer. He's so good at baseball. So, was he never in Baltimore? Did I just fib on that? Why do I feel like Edwin Diaz was in Baltimore? I just completely lied to you saying he was in Baltimore. I don't know why. I knew he was Seattle to the Mets, but I thought he had a Baltimore stint there. So I'm just completely wrong on that. But Edwin Diaz going to join the Orioles bullpen. And the Orioles aren't very good, so we'll see. Yandy Diaz here has just got dealt to the Rangers. Yandy Diaz just coming off a great year. He's heading to Texas. So the Rays, I feel like, have been kind of adding and subtracting this offseason. The big get back was 18-year-old Castillo. OSA doesn't really love, but our scout really likes him. So interesting trade there. Yandy Diaz into the Rangers. So the Rangers get rid of Eovaldi, bring in Austin Wells and Yandy Diaz. So I don't know what that pitching staff's going to look like, but interesting. And then the Rays, I think they bring back Danny Jansen. I think he was here before. That's pitching. He absolutely wasn't. Well, he was in 2025. So, but he re-signed for way too much money. Danny Jansen just got paid. All right then. Anyway, this is a guy our scout just found. Scouting discovery, and Danny Lopez looks to be a dog. This is bad development. He's 16, so we'll see him in 8 years, but very interesting. I gotta create a short list. I forgot. But yeah, just interesting guy. I wanted to show you guys that we found. So this is interesting. I'm just checking in here. Mitch Keller's into the Reds. He was really, he's been kind of like the mainstay for that Pirates rotation for a while now. He's on big money. The Pirates are retaining. And there's a prospect we were going after for a while, and Edwin Arroyo, and now that our scouts actually scouted him a bit more, it's gone down, and Osei doesn't love him either. So I don't want to say we're immediately going to do a victory lap around this, because we're not, because he can still be great. But interesting that he got dealt, and now he's a Pirate. So, where careers go to die as well. But we'll see. And we kind of find ourselves with another big trade here. Former Twin involved. He's Griffin Jax, who we sent to Tampa. Going to San Diego, going to go compete with a really good team. So that's another interesting one. Former Twin. They get back an 18-year-old. So Griffin Jax going to go to a contender down in the NL West. So another interesting trade. Got another interesting one here. Shane Bieber's heading back into the division, heading back to Cleveland. So he left for 8 starts. Yeah, literally 7 starts in Toronto, and now the World Series loss later. He's back with these guys. Cooper Ingles, a really, really good catcher. Honestly, really solid. Fast, good eye. I don't know who this is. Very interesting. Really good glove too. How often do you see a catcher with these kind of ratings? That's very interesting. A fast catcher, plays great defense, has a great eye. what a gift for the Blue Jays. That's an interesting guy right there. So, just interesting trade in general. See what these Hall of Fame voting results are looking like now, though. We before we get to that, we did sign our first international free agent, Jorge Delgado here. He's kind of the lower level one we were offering, but we're never going to complain with a 68 potential outfielder joining us. So, Jorge Delgado, welcome. We tried to go get this catcher here, Alejandro de Jesus, but money was a little too rich for our blood, so we couldn't get it done. So, speaking of no one in the Hall of Fame, so no one gets inducted this year. If it goes next year and Andrew Jones doesn't get in, rest assured I will be putting him in. Carlos Beltran, 0.1 away. That's heartbreaking. And funny enough, De Jesus chose the Reds, which are a very good team. Like I said, they always just have guys who come up and are great, and De Jesus might be the next one for them. So good for the Reds. And speaking of the Reds, they just signed Harrison Bader to an ungodly amount of money for Harrison Bader, 40.5. So the former Twin, who just had the best year of his career. Wow, that's a lot of money. Elite defense, great speed. The bat's solid. If it's good, then he's going to be great. $40 million a year until he's 35. Wow. Look at the Reds go, I guess. Well, then, Alex Bregman opted out of his deal with the Red Sox, a team that was, contending in the playoffs, and he joins a different Sox. And he's going to Chicago. Alex Bregman to the White Sox? The White Sox are spending money? What am I looking at here? This is insane to me. Wow. Alex Bregman, a Chicago White Sox, I guess. That is so interesting to me. Speaking of, what's going on in the AL Central? Pete Alonso, $48 million a year? We got NIL donors coming in? This is unbelievable. What am I looking at here? $48 million a season to get the polar bear into Cleveland. Holy crap. That is what am I looking at? That's insane. Oh my goodness. Something just fell behind me. Even the rest of my apartment's shocked by these deals. Jack Flaherty also heading to the Rangers, so another guy to fill the void there for them. So Jose Siri and that elite defense going to Washington. Just some kind of end of the year moves here. High A didn't have a manager apparently, so we had to go sign a guy. So that's what that's all about. We're getting closer and closer to the preseason. We'll be able to kind of see what we got going. We signed this. This will be our last international free agent. Kind of the best available. It wasn't the most stacked class. Obviously, the Avoid K is not something that I like to go after pretty much ever, but 80 power was interesting enough. He was kind of the last guy we had left in terms of how much money we had left to spend. So Manny Avila is our other guy we went out and got. Was clicking Kershaw's into Tampa Bay, so in real life he retired, and now he's a Tampa Bay Ray, which I'm sure Dodgers fans are loving to see here. Holy mother of God. What am I looking at? Kyle Tucker, $425 million. Holy crap. This is why I invested you guys in on the Marlins. They just dropped all the money that is left in Miami to go bring Kyle Tucker in. Shout out Jersey born. He signed him in his safe too. I don't think he gave him this much money. Holy shit, Kyle Tucker. The city's got to take a loan out to pay the guy. Holy crap, Kyle Tucker for $60 million a year. That is unbelievable. Kyle Tucker's a Miami Marlin. How about it? I gotta take a look at these finances. They still have money to spend. They're only paying those two, and then Paul DeYoung's the third highest paid guy on this team. This is unbelievable. Let's look at Cleveland. I mean, they're out of money now. They're 13th in payroll with the Pete Alonso, and they just signed Rob Refsnyder, by the way, for 22 a year. I mean, Jose Ramirez just came out and was like, we need to hit a reapproach once it gets to 2028 because they're not doing what I told them to do because he saved money on his contract or whatever, and now they're not going and getting guys for him. But I think he's happy in the safe because they went out and got Pete Alonso. And then when we look at the White Sox, yeah, they also signed Ryan O'Hearn, which was just kind of like out of the blue. I forgot to mention that Ryan O'Hearn is here. Alex Bregman. What are their? I mean, Jerry Reinsdorf is fuming right now. Is he still the owner? He is. He's charitable. Jerry Reinsdorf, charitable. Okay. Whatever you say. That's crazy to me. That is unbelievable. And I'm doing it in here because I can look at the latest news. That is that's kind of ill timing. Look at that. I mean, okay. Jerry Reinsdorf has passed away, so they went out. His dying wish was for them to go get Alex Bregman. God, that's terrible. So his kid's taking over, and he's actually less charitable. Yeah, there you go. That literally happened like 5 minutes after I brought that up. So there we go. And here we go. Let's try not to spoil it. As we signed Gil Torado, big. Okay, generate bat speed, successful for Luke Keeschel. So it's not showing right now. It's not showing anywhere. Am I on OSA? I am not. It said it was successful. So that's good. Increased pitch movement for Zebby. That was successful. We're not seeing it on here. Again, I don't really. I mean, it did go up. Current control, current movement both went up. We just don't see the home runs allowed get better, but it should. So that's really good for Zebby. That is very good development for Zebby. No improvement for Taj Bradley. No improvement for McAble. Successful for Brooks Lee. His avoid K definitely went up. This is a proper development. This is big for us. So contact I think went up. Brooks Lee successful. Walker Jenkins successful. So the gap power should be better, and it's at 55. And he's up to 70 potential. OSA likes it even more. Had scouts at 70, and that before was in like the 60s. Incredible development for Walker Jenkins. Not a guy who's gonna start the year as a starting right fielder, but definitely as time goes on, we'll have a chance to go win that job. So that's awesome to see. Two-strike approach, Erod is successful, but the avoid Ks is still abysmal. So what did that improve? Why say successful if he's still got 30 avoid K? Does his eye go up? Oh, that's annoying a little bit. He's slow too. Not that I'm beating the guy while he's down. Sorry. No improvement. No improvement. Outstanding improvement for Royce Lewis. So what does that look like? It looks like nothing. Looks like absolutely nothing changed. Gotta love out of the park, man. I'm extremely pleased. Okay, it's super well, also include other changes. So maybe if I just got to be like, hey, will you scout him again? Then it'll tell me. I don't understand that. I really don't. Because if it's outstanding, then I should see that this. I mean, we got like prime Tony Gwynn or something, I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, there we go. Let me get to end of spring training, and I'll update you guys on what the roster's looking like going into the regular season. So yeah. Oh man, here we go again. So Byron Buxton 6-7 week injury. So got about 5 games in, and Out goes Byron Buxton. So not ideal, not good. Me being silly, I've kind of forgot to get a center field replacement and accidentally kind of did with DeLuca. So I think DeLuca is pretty much guaranteed to make the team now. Just because he's going to be the best center fielder that we have, with Byron Buxton going on the IL to start the season. So not good. And the injury bug bites again. James Outman will be out 2 to 3 weeks. I think this will still leave him. I still think he'll be back by the regular season because we don't start till April. There's the international series that's like down here. I don't know who's playing in it, but we're not. So I think that'll leave him to be back. But yet again, I do not know. He could be on rehab assignment with the ankle, though. I think he'll be fine. Fractured foot, I mean. But James Outman on the IL, so he obviously will not get that right field job. And DeLuca will move in here and then move Rodin over. But yeah, there we go. So there's another injury that bites. And the hits just keep on coming. Sean Armstrong, our free agent. Yeah, we went out and got the 35-year-old for $3 million. He will never pitch for the Twins. Then the guy who was durable comes in and doesn't even get 2 weeks into the spring training and tears his UCL. So Sean Armstrong likely won't play any time for us. So I see that Pablo got hurt. Yeah, Sean Armstrong torn UCL. Sucks. Guy in the bullpen that we lose. Kind of wish we had Topa right now, but we don't. So there's that. If you're looking over to the left here, Luke Keishel's kind of filling up all of these stat pages as we conclude spring training. So that's something we're really excited about. He's going to be kind of our guy. Okay, so Royce Lewis's contact did get better. Now that we got the scouting done. I wish it would pop up here, but it doesn't. The contact did go up. I don't really remember what else went up, but it is better. So we'll see with Royce Lewis's season. It'll be interesting. Jacob deGrom's done for the year, so he had his 1 year where he was great again, and down he goes once more. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make the final roster cuts as Brandon Woodruff heading back to Milwaukee. But yeah, it's opening day tomorrow, so let's go ahead and fix the roster. And once I'm done with that, I'll let you guys know what it looks like, and then we'll go ahead and be done here for today. All right, we've got the rosters shrunk down, ready to go. So the lineup 1 through 9. Before we do that, Erod will be the starter out in right field to start the year. He did good enough in the preseason, or in the spring training, I should say. Not excellent, not blow you away, but good enough. DeLuca really struggled, so I thought about doing Erod in center, but I don't know if I can trust it. And it's not like Buxton's out for the whole year. It's 1 month. We should get Outman back in a few days, but I do think. When Outman comes back, I think he might be up for Rodin, just so we have a real center fielder to be a backup. And honestly, that's probably the plan. So for right now, Alan Rodin's the backup corner outfielder, and then Erod will be the backup center fielder. But in terms of the lineup, Keischel against righties is going to play second base. He won't be at first. He's going to be hitting leadoff, and then we'll go to Austin Martin. One thing I do have to say is this lineup is incredibly difficult to build when you don't have a Byron Buxton in the middle of this order. It's not fun. We're just not very good, and we kind of had that expectation coming in. But why don't I continue before I already start complaining or whatever. Ryan Jefferson's at the 3. We're going to do Larnach and clean up. Lewis, who's playing third. Clemens, and then Erod. Actually, I'm going to do Lewis, then Erod. Or Lee, then Erod, and then DeLuca will be hitting 9th. And then versus lefties, the one change that we have is Jose Miranda's in, starting out first base. He's very good against lefties. And more importantly, Cody Clemens is very not good versus lefties. In terms of pitching, Zebby Matthews had a pretty disastrous spring. He was really, really not good. So he's going to start the year in the bullpen. Not something I really want to do, but it's something that I think is just how the cookies crumbled because David Festa looked really good. So we're going to give him a little bit of run. I think he's going to be kind of on a short leash here. But these are really good pitches. The home runs are probably going to get to him. Once they do, we'll pull the trigger and move him back. But for now, just how we played in the spring training, we have to honor that, and I'm going to let Festa get a chance. Taj Bradley was excellent in the spring, so he's going to get a shot as the number 2. But then it goes Lopez, Bradley, Painter, Festa, Abel. Abel is also decent. The ERA looks good. His FIP looked a little wonky. And that's what I usually use. I look at the FIP minus a lot. Look to the bullpen then. SWR did make the roster to be a long reliever, kind of emergency starter, mop-up guy. And then we have, as of right now, Cole Sands is going to be the main middle relief guy. He might move up or down depending on how he plays. RJ Pettit didn't do great in the spring, but I just trust these ratings, I think. I like the stamina. He could be a stopper guy at some point. RJ Pettit's going to be a part of this team. It'll be a middle relief. Setup, I did the 2 kind of new guys, the older guys. Milner for the lefty and Ginkle as the righty for the setup. I really do fully expect this to change a good amount. And then first, I'm using stoppers this year. Kirkering and Funderburk will be our 2 guys in that role. I'm tell them not to pitch around as much to control. And home runs allowed is good enough. The movement's good. Put the ball in play, extreme ground ball. I think Funderburk's going to be really good. I think he's going to play above these ratings. So there's kind of the 26-man. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the preseason predictions and then hop on out of here. The Blue Jays, the reigning AL champs, are projected to kind of go back-to-back in that division. It's uber competitive. The Orioles are meant to be back, so that'll be interesting. The Red Sox, with Schwarber back. The Guardians are looking to win 90 games. Kind of see if they can, take that momentum they had at the end of the year this year and ride that out. We are projected to be exactly what we were this past year, 70 to 92. I'm not expected to pitch well. Expected to hit pretty decent for the AL Central, which is interesting to me because we don't have Byron Buxton. The White Sox are actually meant to be good, which is funny. We go to the AL West. The Rangers and the Mariners are going to be competing. I feel like that's pretty accurate. I think those are the 2 best teams over there. In terms of the best bats, we see Judge, Kurtz, J. Ram, Caminero, George Springer still at 36 doing it, which is fun. Corey Seager. Did Corey Seager play this year? He did play a little bit, and I forgot. If he can stay healthy, man, he's gonna put something together. I love Corey Seager. Yandy with the Rangers. Jazz is here. Eugenio Suarez, who signed with the Red Sox. Excuse me. Projected at 46 homers, and then a little something fun at the bottom here. Luke Keeschel mentioned. I just want to let you guys know I do love a little bit of small ball. We want him to steal. Want him to steal a lot. Luke Keeschel, hopefully he can provide that. For pitchers, we got Skubal, Bubich, Suarez, Gosman, Eovaldi on the Yankees, Grant Taylor, LSU guy, played a little bit, didn't allow a homer. These are unbelievably good per nines for Grant Taylor. So 35 stamina. They're going to try him out as a starter, see what he can do. He's listed here. Grant Taylor, Hunter Brown as well, Max Fried, Brian Wu, and Crochet, of course. Crochet a little down low on this list. Some runs got worse, but we only have average, so we don't know for sure. But I would say he thinks he's better, but the home runs are still an issue. So interesting. Let's look at the NL. The Phillies, who we are feeding fucking players. The Phillies looking good. The Braves are supposed to be. The Marlins aren't projected in the playoffs, but you gotta believe in the Marlins. Mets are looking to continue to be bad. They lost a lot of guys. Brewers projected to win the Central again. The Cubs are behind them. The Reds, 500, and then the big bad Dodgers, of course, back-to-back champs looking for the three-peat. should continue to be better than ever. So Padres, we got some guys this year behind them. Giants are supposed to be good. Diamondbacks are mentioned. So we'll see what happens there. Ohtani, of course, Acuna. Michael Busch is here. He's been great in the postseason. See how he does in Game 5 against the Brewers today in real life. Tatis, Carroll, Soto, Marte, Freddie Freeman's still doing it. Kyle Stowers is here. I'm a big Kyle Stowers guy. I'm just a Marlins guy. I really am. Kyle Stowers, what they get in that trade to Baltimore? Trevor Rod. Okay, Jesus. Well, I was gonna say what a win of a trade, but Kyle. Yeah, I don't know. Trevor Rogers kind of been a guy. Matt Olson, the other one here. Yeah. Pitchers, Paul Skeens, obviously the co-Cy Young winner, which I still think is absolutely ridiculous. It was really funny. Logan Webb, Chris Sale of the Padres, Yamamoto, Ohtani here twice because, of course, Christopher Sanchez, the other co-Cy Young winner. Matt Boyd is here, Luzardo, Woodruff, and Freddie P. So it's kind of the preseason predictions. See how our Twins do. I am curious about what this is going to look like at the end of the year. So the Guardians brought in the most, 11.9 WAR brought into Cleveland. Pete Alonso, no Cameron. They brought in Tauschman, Caratini, McGill. Red Sox, Reds, Diamondbacks follow. We weren't at the bottom. So a win is a win. Sean Armstrong was our biggest get, and he's down for the year. Yeah, I'll see how the season plays out. I'm excited to get into it. Excited to see this team. I'm excited to get to the draft and see what we can do there. But I think that's where we're gonna end it. I know it was kind of a longer one, first off-season, first time I had to do an off-season. So before I bounce, why don't I look at this quick? Top prospect is Terrazas. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that, but he was an international guy that we didn't go after, but could be something big. Walker Jenkins is 4th on this list. He's going to start the year at AAA. We're ready for him though. Like if Erod struggles, I won't be too shy to pull the trigger if he's doing his thing down there. Ethan Salas is here for the Braves. A lot of these guys are the international guys that came in. There's that De Jesus guy, Trey Savage, who was excellent for the Blue Jays in the postseason. Or so far has been. We actually have the number 1 system. Wow. I mean, I knew we had a good one, but wasn't expecting. I mean, we did bring in Andrew Painter. Still got the prospect status because he hasn't made a major league start, and he's 15th prospect. So we have number 4 and 15, and then Riley Quick is well loved by this game right now, and OSA really likes him. So that's good to see. Obviously, Eduardo Tate, who we're really excited about. Hopefully he can develop. I think we'll start the year in high A. Yeah, that's the plan. And then Kendry Rojas, who might be a guy I've kind of overlooked a little bit and not mentioned, but he was the other guy in that, I believe it was the Louis Varland trade, I'm pretty sure. Because he's from, my God, there's so much stuff. Yeah, the Louis Varland trade who came over. He's a lefty, so which is good for us. We need more lefties. We'll love this to get better, and if it doesn't, he'll be up in the majors. But yeah, number 1 system, that's kind of what we want. It's kind of what we expected coming in. We're not going to be very good. We got some injuries. Buxton, our main reliever going into the year. But yeah, this is the 2026 Twins. We'll see how it looks. The next video, I'll probably check in around the draft, or I'll turn it on when something interesting is going down, or I'll check in. But I'll be here for an abbreviated stay once it's draft time. See what the Twins are looking like then. So thank you guys for tuning in.